to Africa this week. I'm Abubakar Ibrahim. Today's episode, I'm going to have Professor John Alabi. Professor John Alabi is the Dean of Faculty of Management Sciences at Prince Abubakar Audu University at Anyigba in Kogi State in Central Nigeria. Professor Alabi is not only just a professor, but he is a national president, Institute of Civic Entrepreneurship in Nigeria, executive director, Confluence Business School. Also is Professor Alabi, a teacher, a consultant, and what have you, an analyst in political affairs. Maybe I should add this one or later. Prior to this, I didn't know that he was also a member of Economic Advisory Council to most of the governors of Kogi State. So, Professor, you're welcome to Africa this week.
Thank you, Sadiq, for having me.
My name is Abubakar Ibrahim. We are mixing my Sadiq with other Sadiqs.
Abubakar Ibrahim.
So, but you can choose any of the three of them and use it. Right. Well, let's set the ball rolling here. Prof, we have been trying to have you on Africa this week, but this time we caught up with you. I am going to ask you, the governor of Kogi State, or the former governor of Kogi State, let me put it that way, because January 27th, 2024, he handed over the government after the completion of his 2 years tenure as governor of Kogi State. You have been here in this state. You have been observing political system and its effectiveness and what have you. Very familiar with the economic issues in this country, as I introduced you earlier. You have seen the governor when he came in 2016, precisely 27 in 2016. Is a child of luck and benevolence of God. He fought, he conquered, and he lived for 2 terms in Kogi State. How did he see his departure and his, give me your opinion about his government from 2016 probably till yesterday when he left. Because when he came, he talked about the new direction agenda. Give us something about this one.
Well, thank you very much, Abubakar Ibrahim.
Yes.
It's nice actually talking about the immediate past governor, Governor Yahaya Bello. Yes, you're right, he came in as a child of necessity. It was a divine intervention by God because of the demise of the winner of the election, Prof. Audu, and because he had to be chosen by his party. Yes, he came in at a time when the state was in dire need of leadership, and a lot of people were rooting for Prof. Audu because of antecedents. But as death will have it, was nowhere. I recall very well I was with him 4 days before he died with the IT crew, and he exhumed, very, very resilient and almost ready to work. But yes, Governor Bello came to power, and he had a whole lot of challenge to deal with, particularly that the state has been, quote unquote, leadership has been treated into one side. You recall that all the governors we have had in the past, the first, the second, the third, all till the time of Yahaya Bello being the fourth, all from the eastern part of the country, eastern part of the state. So there is this issue that, oh, now power has shifted. And he started on a very, very sound note of unification, appointing the deputy who's from the east. He has what do you call it, and also a chief of staff. Yes, a chief of staff who is from another. You know, he had an appointment, Commissioner of Finance for the first time. He's from also from another ethnicity. So he had his, and he came in as a young governor. I think he was treated as the youngest governor then. So he had the opportunity to do so many things. Of course, another thing that came along with his government is that the system was a bit, the public service was a bit rotten, as it were. Corruption were everywhere. Civil service was over-bloated, and so he had to do some reforms. Painful as it was, yes, he did some reforms. Some people's names are in 3, 4, 5 places collecting salaries. You know, so he did those reforms, and he had to do a whole lot of re-engineering and science. So go give and take. So he had the first 2 years to contend with so many issues that had to do with unity, you know, and what have you. But by and large, he settled down quickly to start doing some development project. But that tenure, again, he had a challenge, okay, with his own deputy along the line. So the first tenure was like, you know, clearing the organ table, laying the foundation for development, unity, even though the reform brought in some element of division. A lot of people were, you know, retrenched or sad, and it didn't go down well. And amidst that, he was trying to also...
let's say this is in fairness to the governor. Anytime you bring things about changes, it hurts.
Sure,
people are going to be not, you know, actually want to be, if they are not carried along in the process, because a new direction, as he wanted to take care of the, he dubbed his administration. But in doing that, the fairness is what that people were talking about, if it is fair to one side or not. How did you see, as an entrepreneur, analyst, you are in management sciences at the university, you've been talking about this in public discussion, public affairs, I've been making discussions about, you know, how did you see this economic agenda in the state?
Yes, let me say to you that it came with the backdrop of some previous economic blueprint. You recall that when the state was created, the first, our founding father had what they call an economic blueprint, headed by the late Oyinoyi, and that was the one that we used in kickstarting the state. Afterwards, we had another policy when we had Prince Abubakar came not essentially with an economic blueprint, but his own was foundational. He was trying to lay foundation for our infrastructural development, the school, the health center, the roads. Abubakar did those very well. When Ibrahim came, was the era of reform, national reform. He came up with the, you know, there was this national policy of Kogi Economic Empowerment Program and the National Economic Empowerment Program of Obasanjo, used together, and they have their own a local implementation, something called state implementation strategy that he used. And so we were trying to do that. But against those backdrop, we were still trying to scratch some of the developmental policies of the government on ground. There are no clear-cut, you know, departure. We are still dependent on federal government. Our revenue sources is mainly like our agriculture, something was not fully developed. Yes, we have pockets, but Abubakar laid the foundation. And subsequent government were building on it in true but not coordinated form. So when Wada came, Wada has what they call Kogi Transformation Agenda, Kata. The agenda was for the sector of the economy, and he tried to do his own. Where he sanitized thuggery and what have you in governance. Yes, he was bringing people who have knowledge about it, but again, he also has to contend with godfatherism of Alhaji Ahmed Usman Ododo. He also has to contend with the fact that he was not a locally based politician. He was brought in from outside to be a governor. So we found that he was battling with the program. But he have one or two credit to himself why he was doing that. But as we go along, so against that background, election came in and there was a polarization. That's why the PDP actually lost out and the APC came in. Of course, Prawaru launching and it was just going for the election except for the death. So
are we still talking about Yahaya Bello or you are talking about Wada?
No,
because you say that somebody was brought in outside and
no, that's
fire
of
of
no, I was talking about the policies of government.
Okay.
The blueprint. So
okay.
So when Bello came in, he had to set aside as it were because the new party, the economic policy on programs of Wada, and came out with new direction policy. The new direction policy was a product of his own conception. He brought in consultant. He did his research before, and he said this is what he wanted to do. So he had about 7 thematic areas he wanted to do. And he said that's what he's going to do throughout his tenure. That's what Governor Yahaya Bello came with. So his policies, economic policies of government, on paper, they appear very sound. And he achieved some milestones in some of them, which is good. See, but you see, the problem with our policies and economic policies of our state is that we are not consistent. Number two, we don't go the whole hog or putting square peg in square hole or round peg in round hole. You may have a program that is good, policy that is good, but if you don't have structures and individuals that will run with the program, it will not work. Yes, if you want to start the county success of his 8-year regime, we're talking about each of them. Is it in education? You have GRV schools all over the place.
Yeah.
All the blue roof in school you see is GRV. That is a legacy, for instance. If you talk about the health sector, he made sure that each of the senatorial districts has a mega sort of healthcare facility. Institutions. In local job, you have it here, you have in Okini, and you have in Anyigba. Now, he's doing that to just leave legacy. You go to other spheres. For instance, the road, maybe all the successful administrations have not done well on our roads. Our roads are dilapidated. What they do is just a pocket of repairing and dead. What I'm saying in essence is that an economic blueprint of each of the government appears to be sound on paper, but we did not.
Let me ask you this. I introduced earlier that not by accident, but by your competency as a professor and academician, you happen to be a member of Economic Advisory Council to most of the governors of the state, including former governor, the immediate former governor, Alhaji Bello. What did you suggest to them, or your group? What did you guys suggest them? Because we are still lacking. Kogi State is lacking behind in terms of industrial setup. We're still lacking. I think we are. Let me say this: we are civil service state, as they refer to us. We said, why is that still? Despite the staggering, rising or raising, how do you call it, revenue mobilizations in the state. Why should we still remain civil service state?
Well,
what was your own input?
See, for the Kogi Economic Advisory Council that was set by His Excellency, I have the likes of late Stephen Makoju. We have the gurus in the sectors, private sector. We have professors and what have you. We had series of sessions and we have made propositions to the government. I want to say that we have areas of potential that we need to leverage on quickly. Yes, you say Kogi is a civil service state, but the point is that we have resources that we can leverage to catapult the state into an industrial giant of the Middle Belt. Is it agricultural resources? We don't need to flood that. We have virtually all the agricultural products we can think of. Is it minerals? We have them in abundance. Is it tourism? We have them in abundance. Is it youth? We have vibrant youth. educated youth, right? Our weather is climate is fantastic. So these are things that we have used to leapfrog development in the state. Yes, the Economic Advice Committee, Council, for instance, did brought out areas of quick wins. And you notice that when Your Excellency, I think a day before he left office, we have a valedictory dinner where he launched
January 26th.
Where he launched 26 years, where he launched a compendium of what he has done. Maybe you can avail yourself from Ministry of Information, a lot, about so many thousand of projects. But I'm particularly happy that there was a development plan that was launched 2024 to 2056, 32 years development agenda that everyone will key into. Yes, we may not agree with the duration as it were, but it's built for review every 5 to 10 years. That is a legacy. That's the product of what the Economic Council did. That it is not enough to come in and bring a governor from any part of the state or any party and come with an idea, this is what I want to do. No. Let us have a state development agenda. That anyone that comes in, key into it. That's what's working for Lagos State. Tinubu did a development plan for 30, 40 years. And all the government coming in, around that, they bring the fulcrum of their own development agenda in it. It's a people's document where we ought to be. I'm envisioning a state, Kogi State, where, for now, we should have functional infrastructure in all the local government, isn't it? Yeah. We should have existence of cottage industry, isn't it? In all the local government quarters. It's important that even in Kogi State, we're talking of 33 years, we'll be 33 years this year. 3 decades, all right? We don't have, institutions that we can say, these are functional ones. These are things we're looking at. And that's what the immediate past government attempted to do. Let's have mega healthcare facilities.
School. It was not successful. It has its own inadequacy in terms of carrying out, apart from, the bulldozing of the internal, how do we call it, revenue generation, which which I think is some agree, some don't agree with it. How do you observe his not necessarily his political inadequacy, but the act of governance? Mm. He is, like I said earlier, he brought up a sentiment into his government that people think that he created more polarizations in terms of the ethnic, how do you call it, existence in the state. And I think he was not able to deal with that before he left.
Well, I think that is also very relative. You
affected his plans to develop or enhance the how do you call it, increase acceleration in his development process.
In governance.
Yes.
In governance, there is this reforms that you need to be introduced. When you have public sector reform, you alluded to that. Some will like, some will not like it.
Yes.
We needed that reform, and so it was not popular when we started the reform, because some people are benefiting, just like the President Tinubu came on and said, oh, some first subsidy is gone. Some people are not happy about it. The ACF is speaking about so many things. I begin to wonder, what would the port authority be doing in Abuja when there's no port in Abuja? You get my point? Yes. So people are not always happy with the reforms, because it has been entrenched. What we have been doing for 10, 20, 30 years, to want to change it. So in governance, there's what we call reforms, which is not always possible. Number two, which is very important, is the style of leadership. Let me say this, and it's my opinion. I did not agree with the style of Yahaya Bello, but I did not follow the reasoning behind what he was doing. Are you getting it? Some economic policies and programs introduced by Bello were necessary. Some reforms were damn necessary, but I did not agree with his style. But that's leadership. I mean, I don't have to agree with everything, isn't it?
Yeah.
You may fault my style, but you can't fault good program. So his style of leadership, it came at a time when people believed that a section of the state were always sway for too long. Marginalized. So you want a section where other people can be part and parcel of it. Honestly, I'm of opinion that.
But let me say this democracy, this politics, it goes with numbers. You go there and vote for this person, vote for that.
And when you get there, look at what happened.
That's why I'm trying to abuse the mind of people who are viewing this program, that the Kogi East, the population is so much that if you don't take time, look at what is happening in Benue State.
That's why they're not developing.
The alliance and everybody have been there.
Go to Cross River and Akwa Ibom State.
Okay.
They have population, but they rotate it. The reason is that you throw out the best in every zone. That's my take. Allow them, throw out the best. Move. You see, unfortunately, I'm not a stickler for ethnicity and religion.
Yes.
You know me very well. I'm in the faculty of minor sciences, and when I had an election, I was elected by majority of the Igala people East, because they thought this is the popular candidate. I defeated an indigenous, I defeated a Muslim, and a Christian. All right, and when I won, the other side, I gave them sensitive position in my cabinet as well. Because that is governance. I'm not a stickler for, but you see, in politics, there's this general belief that, look at what happened in Nigeria. If it goes to the north, it's a compromise society, so that we can have peace and development. But that is not by the way. But the style of Governor of Kogi, the White Lion, the SY White Lion, is so novel and is new to some people. He came in with youthful agility, he came in with radicalism, and the first tenure he had to contend. Remember, in the first 2 years, he was an ally to the Ghana people because the deputy was, the chief of staff was only Sway. My very good brother, intelligent and articulate Sido. Very intelligent guy, alright? And astute person, I knew in the private sector, he did so well. He had to, and they were united. That time you hear our government, that's Sido talking to you. I was happy. But along the line, the devil in ethnicity came up, but give and take.
So that's politics.
That's politics. But economy wise, he has landmarks.
Yes.
But while going, he left some carcasses behind, which is normal in governance. Some people are not happy with him. Some are happy. They don't believe that because of how the first tenure ended with his deputy governor, the further apart. So he came back in second term and fortified himself with people that are loyal to him. That's governor. But give or take, politically, economically, socio-culturally, Kogi State, even though we are divided because of this issue of you are from here, there's a general belief that power is rotating.
Okay. I've been talking to Professor John Alabi, a professor, a dean of Faculty of Management Sciences at Abubakar, Audu University, Anyigba, in Kogi State, North Central Nigeria. But let me, before I round up this conversation with you, Prof, let me ask you this. Every beginning has an end. Like everybody have been saying about Bello's generalship in Lugard House. He left with, how do I say, proper pageantry, an accolade, whatever, from his fans and those who are not his fans. He is leaving, we have a new governor in the state. Governor, this Ahmed Usman Ododo is now the governor of Kogi State. He was sworn in on the 27th January 2024. You were there. You saw everything that happened there. He said so many other things, but the first thing that struck people is a new beginning for Kogi State. What do you pick out of this? He said a new beginning. In what perspective? Well, anyway, fine. Prof, like I was saying that you were there when he rounded up his government has handed over to the present governor, Ahmed Usman Ododo. Is now the governor of Kogi State, when he talks about the new beginning. He talks about the reorientations of civil servants, civil service in Kogi State, and so on. So he says so many things there. The question I'm going to ask you is this: are you having problem, or how do you see it when he says this is a new beginning? Is he going to run away from the blueprint of his Oga, as a Fubra in River State used to call his Oga? This Oga that trusted him, brought him to the office, has anointed now he's the governor. He's in the Lugard house. Is he going to run away when he says this is a new beginning? Is he changing from what has happened 8 years ago under his Oga? How do you see that?
Well, thank you very much. Well, I think a new beginning is a new beginning. He said, what does it mean new? That the former governor is gone, and January 27 is a fresh start. A fresh start because a new person is in power. A fresh start because the personality of His Excellency Ahmed Usman Ododo is not the personality of Governor Yahaya Bello. They are two different personalities. Yes, the same party. Yes, he is Oga, he's anointed, but he has his personality and style that I have to work with. So it's a new beginning, hoping that if you are relating with me, you relate with me on basis of my person. Because the former governor will not be there. That's what I mean by new beginning. New because a new personality. You can say a new wine in an old bottle. Maybe that's the way to look at it. But see a new beginning. But I have serious advice for him. All right? Yes, you are coming in as an APC governor. Yes, you are coming in as an anointed leader by your Oga. But he has his mind of his own. Still accountant. He's a fine, handsome young man by his name. Ododo means flower. Yes. All right? And I hope and I believe that Your Excellency Alhaji Ahmed Usman Ododo, you are now the 5th executive governor of Kogi State by the special will of God. And the Biras, the Okuns, the Igalas, the Kakandas, the Basangers, the Oworos, the Nupes, they are all looking up to you. For what now? They want you to make Kogi a middleweight industrial giant. They want you to unite our polarized states, make us one. You have started by that speech you made, and I believe that God helping you, you go ahead. Politically, you're matured, you have remained in disposition from the interaction people have had with you. You are accommodating, so we believe that will be brought to bear in governance. It's a new beginning that you make sure that resources of government are spread, unity is enhanced, people are not marginalized, and the reforms that are necessary, you have the courage to take the reforms, because if you don't do some reforms, you will be in a quagmire. Like Abubakar will say, infrastructure-wise, we must translate the states to a better state. Agricultural-wise, we must be out and out to make sure that we mechanize our farming and empower. For our youth, preponderant of them are into so many things that are not too good. And it's important for as a youthful governor to leverage many of the empowerment programs and national programs and let us key to it. You have said it. Teachers will smile. Workers will smile. In smiling, which means that you must reorient them to do the right thing, and all those who have entitlement, genuine entitlement, say to them, let bitterness be out of the system. Let the poor breathe. I'm looking for a social investment program that will be so robust in this state. I move around the local government and I see faces of poverty. Forget about state capital. Forget about some local government quota. They are faces of poverty endemic all over the state. You can smell poverty, you can feel poverty, you can touch poverty. We need social investment that is very robust. I'm happy that the last administration set up or promised to set up what they call a ministry for humanitarian and poverty eradication. Oh, I love that ministry. As an orphan myself, I know what it means. People are poor, I must tell you. People must breathe. Are you getting it? People must breathe. And in breathing, you empower them. If you are a politician, go and do your politicking. If you are a professional, let us price our professionalism. If you are a civil servant, do and get paid. If you are a peasant farmer, let farmers enjoy it. These are the critical issues that we must face. Welfare or public service is very, very important. Since you have said you are a civil servant, Your Excellency, history is calling on you as the fifth governor of Kogi State to change the trajectory. Don't be a governor to the Igberas, the Oworos, the Kakanjas, the Nupes, the Basanger, the Okuns, the Galas. Let them see you as our governor. I know you can do it. I know you can do it because by your training, I'm an accountant too, by your training, we are meant to be very, very meticulous and do it well. You are a businessman, you are doing well, I think, Your Excellency, you cannot afford to fail. God forbid you not fail. But I'm calling on Kogi too. You have to support this young man, His Excellency. You have to support him, seriously. Forget about past hangovers, bitterness, and carryovers. All right? Look at His Excellency, Alhaji Ahmed Usman Ododo, as somebody who has come and promised a new beginning, a new start. I think he meant it. He must have prayed that this work I cannot do it alone. So we are expecting him to hit the ground running.
Prof, yes. I think I'm going to thank you so much for coming to speak to Africa this week. And we appreciate you so much. Because if I give you a chance today, you'll be speaking on because you are a public affairs analyst over the years, professional, a professor, a teacher. Thank you very much for coming to Africa this week. Thank you very much. I've been talking to Professor John Alabi, a professor, the Dean of Management Science, Faculty of Management Sciences at Abubakar University, Anyigba, in Kogi State in Northwest Central Nigeria. Like I said earlier, as I was running up with him, I said, he's a teacher. And I remember one of my guys used to say simply introduce me as a teacher by profession and from, I don't want to say it again, but it's okay. Thank you very much for joining us this week. Small Africa Events Unfold. I'm Abubakar Ibrahim.